There's scenes here at Perry Park.
Chris Lynn has taken the wild thing and sent him.
Oh, Bateman! Bateman! Yeah!
And welcome, faithful, to episode 48 of the Beyond the Sidelines podcast. We're back at it again in video and audio format, back here in these beautiful, maybe a bit of a stretch of the word,
Wouldn't say beautiful.
orange walls. With me, as always, Finn Morton and Angus Bryan. How are we, gentlemen?
Good.
Beautiful. You guys are full of words, you know. You're really getting, you know, the great descriptive words out here. You're good.
It's really good for a podcast, being this descriptive. It just
Good
really,
chat, good chat.
Yeah, mate, just it's all part of the experience of the Beyond the Sidelines podcast. But how the hell are you, CJ?
Thanks for asking. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, well, I
cool.
see you're nicely rugged up in your double take jacket over there. If you can show the faithful.
Well, can we see what you came in with, mate?
Oh, I got me. So I got my Roadman jacket. It's actually my brother's, but
Roadman
nice.
jacket.
I think. Wait, you two just share clothes, don't you?
yeah,
Yeah,
because
it's a
you
bit
know,
odd.
yeah, it's just what we do.
And in case
nice
you-
rod and gun, it's pretty
No,
nice.
that's RM Williams. In case
RM
you,
Williams,
in
sorry.
case you didn't tell already, Gus went to private school because he has an RM Williams puffer jacket and a Ralph Lauren polo shirt on.
yeah.
What have you got on the bottom there?
Oh, just jeans, but
He's got jeans on.
Yeah,
some
let's-
nice
Some boots. Some boots. This is great content. In case you didn't already know, but yeah, you went to private school. We can
Yeah.
tell.
Oh yeah.
Queen Street Cowboy.
Mate, we all did. We know this.
Yeah, I
The
know,
faithful,
but
they know this. If they are the faithful.
if they are the faithful, but I think
Then they
one
know
of
this.
us portrays it more than the rest.
Oh,
Yeah, I think so.
I wouldn't say so. I just think I dress well. I said this last week. I think I just dress well. I don't tend to you know
You dress
represent
up,
myself
Gus.
poorly. I'm always, you know.
Do you think that you dress the best out of all of us?
Oh yeah, by far.
Oh,
I mean, half the time you're wearing a baseball cap, so we can't even see your face.
this is true.
But I
This is
just
true.
have
And then all he wears is jerseys.
This is true as
Mainly
well.
All Blacks and Patriots jerseys.
literally. What
Just
am I wearing
jumping
now?
on the bandwagon as usual.
Oh
Finn
yeah,
Morton.
you know the All Blacks bandwagon where you were
Jeez.
born.
I
Yeah.
just jumped on that straight away.
Yeah, as soon as
How
you were
dare
born.
I?
Yeah, how dare you?
See, I think I just have this classic look that might not be rated, like, this might not be acceptable in formal restaurants,
No.
Gusman, but it's classic. It's
Yeah,
what
I
people
think
have
there's a
come
time
to know and
place.
love.
There's a time and place, I think.
And
Yeah.
podcasting is that time and place.
I think so as well.
Okay,
Gus?
well,
So
yeah.
formal notice to you. You're out of
I'm
line.
out of
You're
order.
out of line.
I'm out of order.
But we mentioned the All Blacks there. We mentioned how Finn's on the wagon from being born in New
How dare
Zealand.
he?
The
How
first,
dare he?
the first pair of first set of triplets born in the new
Over
millennia
the ditch.
in New Zealand.
This is true.
Bit of BTS trivia for you.
Yep.
But there's something that's in the news recently, and we're going to be talking about it today. And boys, I'm going to say I'll be the mediator here. You know, you're probably a rugby union, definitely a rugby union expert here.
Probably.
You are a rugby league expert here, so I'll
think
be
expert-
I'll be Switzerland here because this could get heated.
AFL.
Could get heated.
What side do you reckon Campbell's on? AFL. Yeah.
Yeah, what gave that away? What gave that away?
Yeah.
But, okay, so
Well, actually,
Talk
just
us
need
through
to-
it.
let's just say first and foremost, what we're about to talk about
Mm.
is just reports. Now, we're recording this on a Thursday afternoon, and at the time of recording, there are a lot of reports, Gusman, surfacing online through the interwebs that the Kangaroos and the All Blacks are in discussions for a December date, Siege. And
I'd love a
what
date
this
in
would look like.
December. I'm that lonely at this point. Yeah, continue.
Jesus, okay. All right, continuing, getting as far away from that as possible. But basically, these
Just
are
like the women try to.
Jeez, mate, you really are sad.
Hey, if you pay yourself out, no one else can pay you out.
Yeah.
That's the way I view it.
But basically, again, these are just reports. There is nothing set in stone at the time of recording, but, you know, wishful thinking. We've got this platform of Beyond the Sidelines. We want to use that to vent our, I guess, thoughts of what this hybrid game could look like, Gusman. And, mate, this will get heated a bit later, but let's just start first and foremost.
Yeah.
What's the game going to look like?
Well, let's
exactly.
announce
I mean,
what
I
the
don't-
game is. Firstly, what are the two teams that
I'd
will
literally-
supposedly be playing?
Well, I mean-
The All Blacks and the Kangaroos. So New Zealand from Rugby Union and Australia from Rugby League. Now, this hybrid game, it's not really a big concept as of yet. Hasn't really scraped the surface of professional sports, but as we were watching just before this podcast, Siege, it has
It's happened before.
happened before at the grassroots level, but also in the UK.
Yes, it has. Yes.
You don't want to keep going with that?
No, I thought you were explaining it quite well.
Okay, thank you. So basically, in 1996, Wigan, they played 3 matches against rugby union opposition, including against Bath at the home of rugby, Twickenham.
I've been to Bath. It's lovely. I got to say, it is a very, very nice place to visit. I don't know about
play.
their rugby team, though.
It's pretty good.
Their rugby team's decent, or at least it used to be.
I've been at Twickenham, so
Have you actually?
yeah, I have.
Lucky
Oh, cool.
bastard. Bath, they were good until Sam Burgess decided to sign for them before the 2015 World Cup. And,
Yikes.
man, he was bad. I will just say that. Like,
Still made the England squad.
yeah, but he shouldn't have. Like, he was,
He's a
man.
name.
He played 12 and then he played 6.
Oh.
So he didn't really know his position until.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think he went to do it as, a bit of fun. I mean, he won the premiership with South, and then he was like, oh, I'll try and do a Sonny Bill Williams and go overseas and try out Union. I don't think it.
No,
didn't
he
really
wanted-
work
he
that
wanted-
well for him.
He
but
wanted to go to the World Cup because, of course, England hosting that Rugby World Cup, they became the first host to not make it out of the group stage, which still reigns true, Siege, because Japan, of course, pulled it off last year. But basically, he just went over there and kind of didn't hit any of his goals.
I know the English faithful were very upset with him.
Very upset. They were upset with the whole team, to be fair.
He did a bit of a Matt Renshaw.
He did. Anyway, but what
poor
this...
Matt, honestly.
Poor
We
Matt,
give
he gets
him
a
an
lot of
absolute-
smack.
He does.
God.
But what this hybrid game could look like, guys, now, this is just our opinions because we've done a bit of research and we've tried figuring out, what could this idea look like? Because it's rugby league, rugby union, two very distinct codes, Gusman. Two very different codes, but basically a half of each is what we've gathered from our readings online because, was it Mark Eller?
Mark Eller, yeah.
Yeah, and of course a few other ex-players, coaches and
Matty
stuff
Johns and stuff
have
like that.
endorsed the hybrid game when it was played at the grassroots level. I'd say probably 10 years ago. Looked
Yeah,
like,
a few
right?
years ago. It was St. Augustine's from Sydney and Kebra Park from up here.
Southport,
up here at Southport. So it was quite interesting to see. And, we've been kind of debating it a little bit of, do you go uncontested scrums, no rucks, no line-outs? How do you really separate these? Because they can be a bit unfair at times as Finn touches my mic.
The sticker's coming off.
the
It's kind of
sticker.
annoying me a bit.
Yeah, anyway, but what we've seen is that basically half of each, and something that operates a little bit differently that I actually quite like as a concept is a shot clock.
Yes.
How do we feel about that?
Yeah, definitely. Speed the game up. I mean, they were talking in the interviews after some of the people who watched the game, and they were going, "Oh yeah, the shot clock was great. It sped up the game." And I think it was Matty Johns who said,
Matty Johns, yeah.
that in union they tend to kick a lot, and in league they tend to play too structured.
Yes.
So it was
Comes
a
too
good,
predictable.
Yeah, and it comes too predictable. So it was a good way to, I guess, mash that together and make sure that none of that sort of stuff
Yeah,
happened.
I think it makes teams use the ball more effectively.
Well, you have
Yeah.
to.
Yeah,
Because
so that's
in rugby especially, you see it a lot when a team's winning by a handful of points and they have the ball with 3 minutes to go. They keep it in the forwards and they pick and drive,
yeah.
until the other team's forced to give away a penalty.
And there's something to be said for that, though.
It's tactics, it's
The
strategy.
rugby union tragic, we love that, and I don't hate it. I like it because it is what rugby union is.
It's theatre.
It's a theatre, and it's a tactical game, and it's got a lot of nuances that maybe the casual fan doesn't necessarily enjoy, or the casual watcher, casual viewer, which
There we go.
has really affected rugby union's popularity, especially in Australia, over the past few years. It has dipped, and that could be said to be because of it due to some certain things. Like if someone watches a rugby union game who's never watched it before, they'll go, why do they keep kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Why do they keep coughing up possession? Why does this happen?
Well,
Why
I
does
mean,
this
I think
happen?
that's also just the Australian brand of rugby union. Because I mean, the New Zealanders, they play a lot
They
more
play-
they play
freely.
quicker.
Expansive.
But then you see a team like the French, and they're boring as all hell when they're playing.
They can
keep
be.
kicking it.
They can be really exciting
but
too.
Usually games I've seen, I don't watch a lot of rugby union, but games that I've seen are the French, and they're pretty
I mean,
average.
Japanese are a
Australia's
pretty good example
average.
of pretty
Oh,
quick
man.
moving,
But sides
great
like
football.
the All Blacks and Ireland, they're really quite good at moving the football around. And
Yeah, Ireland do play a bit reserved in a sense too, but I get what you're saying, Gusman. It forces teams to use the ball, and that's basically the premise of what this hybrid game could do to benefit both codes. And it raises the question on. Well, let's talk about teams. Actually, let's talk about teams, Gusman. The Kangaroos, obviously your forte, rugby league. It's apparently going to be two sides of 14 teams, 14 players, I should say each. Of course, rugby league is standard 13 players, union's 15. Meet in the middle, you get 14. So 14 players.
Who are you picking?
What does that look like?
Who are you picking?
You're
do you
the
reckon?
selector.
Yeah.
well, I mean, obviously you'd have to go with
Boy corner.
Tedesco.
Well, no,
Teddy.
I,
You
you'd
would
obviously
definitely go
with
Teddy.
Tedesco.
Yeah. That's an obvious choice.
Where are
Pretty much half the New South Wales side, I think. But
that'll
Tedesco
make
would be
sense,
playing
but-
fullback.
Yeah.
You'd go with Tom Trbojevic. You'd be
Where
going
would you
with
play?
Jake
Where would you
Trbojevic.
play them? What positions?
Tommy Trbojevic probably
Actually,
in
wait.
the backs.
So,
how do
yeah,
they line
exactly.
up?
But
I don't know how they
I think
line
you're
up.
cutting
A button.
out like a flanker.
probably cutting out a blindside flanker or a winger.
But are they setting up in the
a bit
union
hard.
formation or are they setting up in the league formation?
You have to
Because
go
that's
union.
very different.
You have to go union because you got packs and whatnot.
So I'll set up in the union formation. Finn sets up in the league formation. How about that?
No.
just do it union because they're gonna have to play on both sides anyway.
It's basically
Okay.
going to be a union lineup, mate.
yeah, but I think you cut off a flanker and then maybe put an extra outside centre.
No, because then you're back at 15. Genius.
No, because there's two flankers. So you cut off both flankers. I mean,
nah.
and then you put.
So
Well, how you can't have like 3 second rowers.
maybe. I
Well-
think they just cut off a winger.
You reckon?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
The
Well,
blindside winger.
I'll name me 8 forwards.
Me 8
first.
forwards.
Me 8
Jeez.
forwards.
So I'd go
Front
with
row.
Trbojevic. I'd go with
Okay, let's go front row here.
Okay, Taumalolo.
Where is he playing?
I'll
You playing him at hooker, prop?
probably go him at prop.
Number 8.
honestly.
Yeah.
Number 8.
No,
He's a bit big for a number 8.
he's very big. He'd work as a prop and he's strong as all hell.
Yeah, okay. He's probably one of the NRL players I'd suggest. Yeah.
Maybe a Tapau to add strength there because he's the strongest guy in the NRL by far. I would have Trbojevic
Raiders.
up there.
Right.
Oh, Papali.
Yeah,
Papali.
he's got to be a choice. Although he's at West now, isn't he?
No.
No,
No?
that's
Who am I thinking?
Leilua.
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 Trbojevic.
Would you put? Where are you putting Trbojevic?
See, I think
Maybe flanker.
Jake Trbojevic, he's a flanker.
Yeah,
I think.
okay.
But again, if you're cutting away flankers, does he fit into that team? And then if he's not in that team, you're missing out big time.
Look,
I mean, off
I
the
probably need to write it down honestly because
I'll get a pen back.
I mean, I just thought Taumalolo's not even an Australian
Okay, well,
kangaroo, so I just named someone who's
Here we go.
so
who's not eligible.
let's start with the. Let's
Campbell's
start with,
got the pen and paper out, and I do like to talk about myself in third person.
that's the best way possible.
It is.
All right,
Alright,
let's start
so
with
number one.
Let's start with the backs, mate.
All right,
Okay, so
starting at 15.
Tedesco.
How are you?
Tedesco.
Yeah.
I
Tedesco
disagree.
fullback.
I think-
yeah, Tedesco fullback.
Don't shoo me away.
Well, listen to me, okay? I've got my reasons.
Yep.
I think Tedesco. Well, Tedesco is the best rugby league
Putting
fullback
him
in
at
the
fullback?
game. Yeah.
Okay.
His pace is outstanding. He's one of the quickest fullbacks in the NRL as well.
Okay.
And you will say, oh, he needs a kicking game.
No.
I don't think he'd need a kicking game in this hybrid game. And his positioning and his defense, especially his organizational skills in the defensive line, is why I'd have him there.
Yep.
I'd have Trbojevic on a wing.
Yep.
I'd also have probably. Oh, let me think of another winger. Maybe a
Vunivalu.
Nick Kotrick
Nick Kotrick on a wing.
on a wing. Yeah, I'd have a centers. I'd have Latrell Mitchell
On the outside.
inside center. I'd have outside center. Who would I have? Maybe even a Morris. Maybe a Morris boy.
Morris on the outside.
Yeah, maybe a Josh Morris.
Yeah.
Just because you need a veteran in there, I think.
Yep.
And then who
10.
else have I got?
You got 10.
I'd have Munster.
Munster at 10.
Oh, actually,
I don't know about that.
No. Hey,
Yeah.
It's his
Oh, this
team.
is your
mate.
team.
either
It's
his team.
Munster or Cherry Evans. I'll go with
okay.
Munster.
All right.
Because he can do it all. He can run. He can ball play as well.
He can do it all.
I'd go number 9, Cameron Smith.
Cam Smith. I like that.
What is this team? Are you
This
kidding?
is such a weird team.
This is a quality team.
Jesus.
Yep. All right. Now we're at number 8.
Number 8. By the way, this is off the top of my head. I
Yeah,
haven't-
no. There's obviously numbers. There's obviously players that we'd pick.
Number 8. Number 8.
Wait, so are we cutting off the flankers here, or what are we doing?
Yeah, why not?
Flankers Trbojevic,
Actually, I think-
Jake Trbojevic.
Okay. So
And-
name them anyway. All right.
Jake Trbojevic, and maybe go
So which Trbojevic did you have on the
Jake.
wing? Tom?
Tom on the wing, Jake. I can't think of anyone.
All right. So you've got a spare flanker spot. You've got your second row. You've got your number 8 and your front row.
Front row. Payne Haas up in the front row.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Let
we
him
got
keep going.
Payne Haas.
What, prop?
Yeah.
Alright.
Prop. Who are my other props?
I don't know. I think you said Papali
Papali. Yeah.
or Leilua.
No, Papali. Leilua went.
Leilua would not play prop.
Yeah.
Maybe second row. Who have I got?
I think you had Tamalolo.
He's not Australian.
He can't play.
True.
All
All right, so you've got a hooker. You've then got and your back row.
I picked my
basically.
hooker, Cameron Smith, didn't I? Oh no, sorry,
Scrum
no,
half.
Scrum half. I'm thinking wrong sport.
Yeah, mate.
Hooker. Maybe Nathan Brown, or actually, Nathan Brown.
Which one is he?
Parramatta
Parramatta lock,
Eels,
isn't
yeah,
he?
lock,
yeah,
yeah.
100%. He's got the perfect build, I think, for a hooker.
I was thinking Victor Radley, but he's probably not big enough.
No.
But actually, flanker, I'll pop Victor Radley as a flanker, just because he's bloody amazing. He's an amazing talent. Number 8, and this guy is probably, I don't know if you'll agree with it, but Cam Murray, number 8.
Interesting.
Just with his pace and his strength. Is that everyone?
You need your second row.
Yep.
How many is that? So
Two players.
We're basically we're basically doing a 15 here, by the way.
Yeah,
Fabio.
Yeah,
So-
and then we'll
yeah,
decide whether
okay.
you cut off a winger or you cut off your flankers.
Let's go Daniel Saifiti from the Knights. And who? I actually can't think of any decent forwards.
You need some tall boys there.
Yeah, I don't have any.
Think tall.
Tamo? Tamo, no. He's average. Oh, is this
decent build.
No, he's New Zealander.
Fafita's
Maybe
probably a bit thick.
maybe McLean for
Jordan McLean.
Jordan McLean for
Cowboys.
height.
All right.
I bet he's not a very good player, but he's just tall.
Alrighty, well, let's
All right. Is that your team?
read out the team.
Yeah.
All right. So you want me to lead out the
I mean, I definitely feel like I could think of something a
Well,
lot better than
okay.
that.
So I'll
No.
read the team list to you. If you have anyone you go, I've thought of someone better, let me know.
Okay.
You can
Okay.
pencil in the changes.
Okay.
This is from 1 to 15.
1 to 15. Papali.
Okay.
Nathan Brown.
Bit of pace, Siege.
Hmm?
Bit of pace.
All right. Payne Haas. Yeah, don't tell
Yeah.
me how to do my job. On the flankers, you've got Victor Radley and Jake Trbojevic. Second row, Daniel Saifiti and Jordan McLean. Cam Murray.
Okay. Can I and I just forgot his name. Oh, can I swap Daniel Saifiti out? Put Jake Trbojevic in the second row. Get rid of Saifiti and put David Fafita as another flanker.
Tongan. David
No, he's
Fafita.
an Aussie. He's an Aussie.
He is an Aussie. I thought you said
Yeah.
Andrew Fafita.
No, David Fafita is another flanker.
All right. And you want Trbojevic in the second row?
Yeah, instead of Saifiti.
Yeah.
Keep McLean for height because I just can't think of. Oh, Clemmer.
Yeah.
He's not very coordinated though. He can't catch.
Cam Murray at number 8.
Yeah,
All right. Halfback, I think this is pretty much a lock. Cam Smith.
yeah,
You've picked Munster at 10.
yeah.
You've then got Mitchell, Latrell Mitchell at 12,
Yeah.
and Josh Morris at 13. You've then
Yeah.
got Tom Trbojevic and Kotrick on the wings, and
Yeah.
Teddy at the back.
Yeah, I think that's a solid side.
All right, let's just do this a lot quicker than what that was. At fullback, I would
You don't
have.
need to do. Oh, why? So you're doing your. Okay, so where would you have changes? Okay,
At fullback, I would have Kalen Ponga,
I would as well.
and I would have James Tedesco at 13 because Tedesco does not have a kicking game. I
I'd
think
maybe
he could be
even have him
caught
at
out.
10.
But
Well,
I also
is this new game? Do you need a kicking game? They said that.
yes.
Yeah, you still do because the
Yeah,
shot
but,
clock.
I mean, as a fullback though, do you need a big kicking game? Like you've got your 10 who's going to be doing a lot of the kicking.
You need a fullback to have a kicking game, Gus. I would have Tedesco at 13 because that's the most important defensive position in the game. But I also think he has a dynamic running game that could be effective there.
I agree.
I would have Tom Trbojevic on the wing, and on the other wing, I'd probably go. I'd be tempted to go someone like Vunivalu, even someone who's about.
Fijian.
He hasn't played for Fiji.
Yeah, but
He also hasn't played for Australia, so at the moment his international eligibility is up in the air. And seeing that he's going to the Queensland Reds next year, I think he could be highlighted as a player who could possibly go both ways. Now, I think you were picking a team off their league ability. Vunivalu was a player who grew up playing a lot of sevens. I think so. He has a sevens background in Fiji and that type of thing, so he could play union well. He's a versatile player who I think could, again, do some damage. Latrell Mitchell at 12, I don't think so.
Where would you have him in your team?
Probably not. I know he's a very, very good player, but I think you need a 12. He's a bit of a player. Actually, no. Yeah, I'd have Latrell in there as probably like a blocker.
Yeah.
He
Or
might-
he's a crash ball kind of player.
And then
Well, that's why I picked him in inside
he's a
centre.
good crash ball
Yeah.
player, I'd say.
And
then-
he's big body.
exactly, and then Tedesco would be my playmaker at 13. I'd have Daly Cherry Evans at 10 simply because he has a similar build and playing style to Stephen Larkham, the former Wallabies fly half.
Okay.
At 9, I'd have Damien Cook. Obviously,
yeah,
I think
that's a good shout.
Cam Smith is past it. I think if this game was 5 years ago, Sweetie's there.
I also think
Nah.
Damien Cook plays similarly to Nick White, who we've seen
Exactly.
success
No,
with.
you-
I think he's quite good.
Honestly, Cameron Smith is still the best hooker in the NRL.
Yeah, it's between those two
by
for me.
Far. And, Josh Hodgson's better than.
I just think for a union game, I think he could be quite effective.
Exactly. But again, I would have Damien Cook there. He is very, very similar to Nick White. You're right, CJ. I think, okay, off the top of my head now, I'm going to go in the second row out of Jake Trbojevic and Boyd Cordner. On the flanks, I would.
As a second row,
Yeah.
I'd maybe have Cordner on a flanker, maybe.
You could, but again, I
Or
think
an
he's tall. I think Victor Radley's actually a bit of a shout, to be fair. I quite like that. At number 8, I would be very tempted by Cam Murray as well. I think that's quite smart. In the front row, that's where things get a bit difficult. I like Nathan Brown. I think he's been very, very good for the Parramatta Eels this year.
And he's got that build. You see,
He
he's
does.
got that.
It's kind of the stocky, almost not much of a neck, which you need as a hooker. It's a
Yeah,
bit of
you
a
do.
stereotype, but that's true. Papali, I think so. I think that could work well. Actually, on the blindside flank, I'd have Victor Radley at 7 and then Shannon Frizzell at 6. Tyson Frizzell. Shannon
Yeah?
Frizzell is
Okay.
his cousin
I like
Yeah.
Tyson Frizzell.
or
That's
his-
a good shout,
or his
actually.
half-brother who actually plays for the All Blacks.
And you know what?
Tyson could even be a shout at one of the centre positions, I'd
he could,
say.
but,
Yeah.
no, but Shannon Frizzell, exactly the same build.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
played for the All Blacks last year.
You know
plays for-
why I like Tyson Frizzell? It's because of his black boots. You know, you never see.
I don't like blackbirds.
I love them. You never
Nah, I'm
see
not a
players
fan.
with black boots these days.
not a
It's
fan.
quality.
Yeah.
And then the other prop I would be tempted to go with. This is hard.
So are you picking Payne Haas as one of your props?
No.
No.
I'd probably put David Fifita there.
I would agree with that.
I think he's
Yeah.
stocky enough, and that's if you want to go for that bit of versatility. I think
Yeah.
that makes a bit of sense.
He's
But
most similar
has he got
to-
the size? David Fifita. It's David Fifita's not a big bloke.
Yeah, but if you want to go somewhere, I don't.
He is almost a back. He's closer to a back than he is a forward.
Okay, Cohen Hess.
No, he's shocking.
He
Cohen,
is,
Cohen
but
Hess is a terrible
but he's
player.
big.
Okay,
I
and
don't
then
know.
for the,
But
the
no,
Wallaby-
I mean Cohen Hess is tall. He's not stocky enough for the front row. He's not like you look at a guy like
you
Papali.
can save that one for later.
Exactly.
Put that up on the wall.
Payne Haas. They're the same sort of
He's
size,
too-
and
Payne
I
Haas
mean
is too
Payne Haas
skinny
is
for me.
versatile as well.
He's too skinny.
Payne Haas is over 110 kilos.
Yeah, I
But
don't
he's-
think he's thick enough. Like he's not. I don't think
But
he's quite
as
lean.
thick as he is tall,
Look,
mate.
if you look
Yeah.
at the All Blacks front row, you know, the likes of Joe Moody, you know, then you look historically, Tony Woodcock, the Franks brothers, they are guys who basically live at the gym, and it shows. They are tall, but they are like rounded, muscular-wise.
Oh yeah,
Look at the
mate.
beast.
Payne Haas is one of the
The beast.
strong. Mate,
Exactly.
I would not underestimate
more
Payne
t-
Haas's strength.
Yeah.
He is.
I just think he doesn't have the weight to throw around compared to the other props.
He's
Like,
over
I know-
110 kilos.
Yeah,
he's
I still
massive.
don't think that's big enough. I'd be more tempted to put him at number 8.
Exactly. I don't know. Anyway, it's
I don't think he's quick enough for number 8.
there's
You
a bit
don't
of
think
a,
he's quick enough?
No, he's.
I think he is.
I think he's got.
He's pretty dynamic.
Yeah, I mean,
Good runner.
I feel like anyone could play number 8. Honestly.
Say that to Harry Wilson, mate.
yeah, jeez.
Yeah.
No, okay. So and then
Look, we're not
going to go into the Kiwis because
No, we won't
they're pretty.
won't slow it down like this, but I think it's pretty standard for the All Blacks. I think the benefit that they could have if, you know, the lineups do change somewhat and there's a bit of a league tinge to the All Blacks starting 14, 15, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I think they could play Damien McKenzie, Richie Mo'unga, Geordie Barrett, and Bowden Barrett all on the same starting side, which is so bloody dangerous for any team that comes up against them. It's
Oh, yeah.
ridiculous. I would have Geordie Barrett marking Tom Trbojevic, no question. Both very similar builds. They're going to cancel each other out, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just simply fascinating.
I also don't mind Caleb Clark playing.
Caleb
in that
Clark,
team.
man,
he's maybe not there yet, but he's a good build for NRL, I'd say.
he's a matter of when, not
Yeah,
if. I
I
think he makes
completely
his All
agree.
Blacks debut. He's already played, you know, he's a seasoned professional when it comes to the New Zealand 7 circuit.
Yeah.
Great player. Then you got other players like Rico
I was
Ioane
about to say, do you play Ioane?
in the centres.
Do you play him?
Yep. Probably.
Okay.
I'd have to go through the team, but I think he's probably in the conversation.
Yeah.
George Bridge,
Well,
you know, there's...
question: do you slim down your front row?
Again, it really, I think the issue that we're having with the front row in this conversation that reflects in this question here, Siege, is the fact that we don't know what type of rugby is being played.
Yeah.
because you're right. David Fifita might work, depending if they go on like a real hybrid, like a real.
Yeah.
You play contested
Let's-
scrums.
No,
Yeah,
if you don't go contested,
Okay,
you
yeah.
know. But if you do go contested, then Fifita, Payne Haas cancels out
Yeah.
because you need your Franks brothers, you need your,
Bigger boys.
bigger boys. Yeah,
What I got from the video that we watched before was that the game seemed to be played at a very fast rate.
Yep.
That seemed to be the I guess the attractiveness of this mashup. I don't know if a lot of these All Blacks forwards can play at the speed that some of the NRL forwards may play at, because you look at them, they're different builds. They're built for
definitely.
different.
We're talking
kind of
front row
games.
here. I completely
Yeah,
agree.
and no doubt that they've got the tank
Tank.
in them, but I don't know if they've got the speed, and I don't know if they've got the versatility that some of the rugby league forwards might have. They might defensively be a lot stronger.
It really depends what the game
Look,
is.
Yeah.
I think there are certain players in the All Blacks lineup who wouldn't work well in league
No.
from the
Yeah.
forward pack, but I think you look at Cody Taylor and Dane Coles, both hookers. They are so versatile.
Dane Coles, yeah, especially.
And Cody Taylor
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
They are so quick, so versatile that I don't think they fit into what you're saying there, Gus. And then you go into, other players. Patrick Tuipulotu, I think we were speaking about him off air last week.
Yes, I was about to mention him.
This is a bloke who at his top pace can run close to 10.5 seconds for 100 metres. That is
Okay.
quick.
That is
you-
very
You
quick.
literally, like...
It's very
That is
quick.
very quick.
And then you got Scott Barrett, who is nearly as quick as Bowden
He's
Barrett.
very good.
Well, not nearly as quick as him, but he's very quick,
Very explosive.
just like his brother. Then you got the back row, and they're basically centres, or they're basically guys who could almost fill in at 12 if they wanted to. Like, they have the pace, they have the skill, and to be honest, Gus, I think it's a closed case here, Siege.
Yeah, I just think the front row, I think New Zealand would do this. I think they'd slim down their front row a little bit.
Yeah.
Dane Coles, he's fine. I think more your props need to maybe be
But
slimmed down
again,
a little bit.
It depends on what type of game you're playing, because could you almost, Cody Taylor, again, another player who is very versatile,
Play
that type
him
of
a
thing.
prop.
Exactly.
I like it.
Especially considering that scrums may not be contested, but if they are, well then surely, even through like the grassroots ranks, how he's come up, surely he has the skill set to match it against guys who at that stage would only be scrummaging for like 3 weeks.
That's what I was about to say. I think even if you drop the weight a little bit at that front row, I don't think the whole skill of being a forward is being big. There's a lot of it that comes from explosive power in your legs to drive forward. I mean, we saw, I can't remember who it was who was pulling his Jeep.
Ofa Tuangafasi.
Yeah, he was pulling his Jeep along with him, which is pretty impressive. So I think a lot of it is to do with other skills, not necessarily just being a big bopper. So I think if you like a front row full of hookers could definitely work.
It could. It's interesting. But anyway, Gusman, how many points do the All Blacks win by and why?
Honestly, I think it'd be close. I mean, it's really all up in the air because
For
we
the
don't know
record-
what the sort of game would look like. I guarantee the rugby league guys would win.
So you think the rugby
I
league guys
I
would
just
win?
think they got
Finn
too much.
disagrees?
I think they got too much skill. I think almost
Takes a
any Australian kangaroo could walk into the All Black side.
No, my word.
No, I'm just being
That
honest.
is a hot take. That is
Yeah.
steaming hot.
I like talent wise, I think any of them could.
I completely disagree. I don't think any of them could.
Daily Cherry.
I know,
Evans,
sorry,
they
I
could.
don't think any of them could. I think maybe some could. They don't walk in.
You think Daly Cherry Evans is starting for the All Blacks?
There is no way in hell
Well,
Daly Cherry Evans would start for the All Blacks.
I think he could.
You're
Yeah,
bloody
absolutely
deluded.
deluded.
Sorry, I was
mate.
going to be Switzerland here, but that is the hottest take I've ever heard.
No.
I think the faithful will agree
This
with
is
me
almost as
that-
bad as you saying like Russia would be good at the
Russia
Rugby
would
World
win the
Cup.
World
No,
Cup.
honestly, maybe not Daly Cherry Evans.
No,
I think
no
that's-
way. But you said
that-
any
that-
player could walk in.
Yeah,
Mate.
look, I was exaggerating.
Okay, so
Obviously not all
okay.
of them would.
So who do you think could?
But I think guys with the talent, guys like Tedesco, Trebojevic, Kalen Ponga,
Trebojevic
Latrell
does-
Mitchell, David Fafita,
Gosh.
Payne Haas would walk in
I
there,
don't
I reckon.
Nah, Paynas wouldn't. It depends what position he's
No,
playing. I don't know.
Trebojevic, mate.
Papali would give it a good crack as well. I reckon
There's players who give it a
there's
crack. I
plenty
don't
of
disagree
them-
with you there.
I reckon there's plenty of them who'd be able to make it into the
I
All
think
Black side.
if I'm looking at this team and I'm talking about players who are switching over and then playing,
Playing Super Rugby.
waking up tomorrow and going, Ian Foster, I want to play for you. Can I?
Yeah.
And him saying yes.
Well, I mean, most of them are Australian, so, but yeah.
But still,
It's
skill-wise,
obviously,
Yeah,
it's
skill-wise,
figuratively here. Tedesco,
yep. I think you're right. I think you're right there.
that's it.
I
Tom-
think Tedesco's he's obviously the best
Mate,
player here. Kalen Ponga
Kalen
is
Ponga
more of a
would
project.
Mate,
He's not
Kalen
in there.
Ponga would walk.
He's
into
not
that.
in your team. here.
Kalen, yeah, I forgot about him, but
Okay.
Kalen Ponga, he would be. Kalen
don't
Ponga
think- I know
would
you guys have
absolutely
had this
walk into
conversation.
that side.
I don't think he'd walk in. I think what
Yeah,
what
he
position would he walk into?
Oh, fullback.
Where the best player in the world is?
Yeah. Mate, mate.
Do you think he would walk over Bowden Barrett?
It's the same situation to
Well,
why. No, wait,
I
guess
don't-
what? It's the exact same situation to why you think Tedesco would beat Ponga to the number 1 jersey in that team.
Well,
It's the same situation. Best
I mean,
player-
I didn't think of Kalen Ponga at
Would
the
you
time.
pick Ponga
I'd
over
probably-
Tedesco at fullback?
Maybe.
Okay.
But like, I really don't know who would perform better. I feel like Tedesco would still be able to adapt really well to that system because he's such a great player.
He is a good player.
Tedesco's the best player in the rugby rugby league right now.
There's no doubt about that. But I don't think. I think if you're saying Ponga's going to make the team,
But I feel like Ponga would be able to play better because he's played rugby union before. I don't think Tedesco
at a
has.
high school level.
Yeah, but
Like,
he,
at a high school
but I
level.
mean, he grew up playing it, so I guess.
Mate, when you're part of a team who flogs Brisbane Grammar, you can just walk into the All Blacks team.
That's 90% of the GPS. Let's be honest here.
I think, Ponga might make the squad if he plays a Euro Super Rugby. I don't think the All Blacks would select him for his name. I think I've mentioned this before weeks ago, Gusman.
Months.
Damien McKenzie, Bowden Barrett, Geordie Barrett, Will Jordan, Caleb Clark, Ricky Ioane. There are all these players who could fill into the back three. George Bridge, Sevu Reece, Naheem Olniskata. Shall I go on? Players who I guarantee at the start of a Super Rugby season, if Ponga is lacing up for the Chiefs or someone, these players have got the nod over Ponga before a whistle's blown.
Maybe further in the season, that might change.
That's what I mean. I think
Yeah,
after a
I
full
agree.
season, he might maybe force himself into the squad, but I certainly don't think he's walking in there.
No.
And I certainly don't think he's getting on there on the back of his name.
Especially since the last time he played
I
rugby
never
union
said he'd get
was
there
for
on the back
Churchy.
of his name.
Mate, you
I
just said he'd walk into the team.
Yeah, talent-wise, he is one of the most talented footballers going around right now. Both
There's no
codes.
doubt
You
about
cannot. Honestly, he is outstanding, Kalen Ponga.
I mean,
he would talent-wise, he would make it into that All Black side without any
He'd
problems.
maybe
I mean, you look,
play on the wing, but after
Yeah.
some, deliberate,
Yeah,
like
but
obviously after playing some bits.
when I look at Sonny Bill Williams as an example, he's a great NRL player. I think Kalen Ponga is better than him. Honestly,
They're different.
They're different. They play differently, but I think if Sonny Bill could manage to do it, I definitely think Kalen can.
Well, let's take a back step here. I'm incredibly confused about what the difference is between I think he would make it on talent alone, not like walking. You said he'd walk into the team,
Yeah.
and then you're saying, no, I don't think he would walk into the team.
No, I
I think
didn't
his
say that.
talent would suggest that.
Well, yeah, of course. That's what.
How are they different?
I'm saying his talent. He's so talented that he'd be able to get into that side.
But then when I said I don't think he would, you said, yeah, I don't think he
you're
would.
saying he'd get on the back of his name. You were bringing that up. I said
his
he'd get there
talent.
on his talent.
That's his talent.
That's the same.
No, you said his name. It's a completely
Okay.
different thing. I'm saying he'd get there on the back of his talent,
I think it would
and
take
I don't
some
see
time.
what's wrong with that.
I think it would take some time for him. I don't think he'd
I
walk
mean,
in.
of course, he's not. He wouldn't be allowed to. But he honestly, if he played a year or two of rugby union, he'd be in there straight away.
I don't think he'd be at fullback.
Or maybe
I
not.
think
at
he's
fullback.
on- I
He
think
might-
he's
he might
maybe
be.
on the
He
wing.
might be.
No.
I think
You never know.
maybe on the wing.
I
No,
think-
he's
think-
not walking over Bowden Barrett
I
at
think
15.
they would try and
Not
do what they
happening,
did
unless
with
they put him at 10.
They would try and they'd try and do what they did with Naheem Olniskata at the 2015 Rugby World Cup, where they basically put him on the wing. Even though he was a winger, but he's like a player who comes in because he can step, and that's what they would try and do with Kalen Ponga if he improved his kicking game as well. I think that's important.
Yeah.
He has got a kicking game, I'll give you that, but it needs to get better still. I don't think the Kangaroos are walking into the All Blacks anytime soon.
I don't think so. I think they're competitive in this game. There's no doubt about that. I don't know who would win. I'd probably lean towards the All Blacks because they're a squad, not a collection of players from different teams. Like, although it's kind of the same thing, but I mean, they're playing differently.
Well, I guess these
it's hard.
guys play together more often than the Kangaroos would.
Yes,
they're a part of
100%.
they're a part of the team a lot more. But
Kangaroos.
I think talent wise, I think the Kangaroos would probably win. But when you're comparing teams and how they've played together for so long, I think the All Blacks would probably win just because they've got.
So would the All Blacks win then?
Well, no, I mean, honestly, I think the Kangaroos would win.
But you're
'Cause
saying
they
That's
got
your
more
opinion.
talent.
That's
But
your
I'm
opinion. You're allowed to say that.
I'm thinking the All Blacks would do well because they've been playing as part of the team for so
I think
long.
they'd win for that reason. And also, the talent of the New Zealand All Blacks team is spread across 5 teams compared to the Kangaroos, where it's spread across, 18 teams?
16.
16 teams?
But the
That's got to play a part of
The
it.
Kangaroos can
What,
be.
what do you mean?
There's 5 Super Rugby teams in New Zealand, which
Yeah.
all the players have to play for.
Yeah.
So you might have a halves pairing that play for the same team.
surely, yeah, but surely. Oh, okay.
So they
that's
play
what
with
you
each other all season.
mean. Oh, yeah, okay.
And they play against each other. They watch
Yeah.
each other a lot more than the Kangaroos players do. They play more games as the All Blacks. They have played more games as the All Blacks.
Kangaroos couldn't beat Tonga last year.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, Tonga's a bloody talented side as well.
They are.
I think Tonga would put up a good fight against.
No,
The All,
pardon me, I have to bleep that.
Yeah.
Damn it.
seriously.
So I think, to be honest, I do think the All Blacks are winning this just because a half of rugby union, I think, is going to be a lot more difficult for the leagueies to adjust to against the other way. Because I think league is touch, isn't it? Obviously with tackling. It's something that you play a lot, even as a union player, before training. You know, those basic principles of, don't get touched, don't get tackled. You got 6 tackles before you lose it. Whereas leagueies don't, do ruck touch before a training session. They don't practice.
No.
They don't practice rucking before a training session. Just
I
because.
mean, the leagues only really need to learn how to do that rucking stuff, and it's not the toughest. I mean, of course, you're coming up against the best, but if they learn that, I think the leagueies are definitely more creative out wide. I think they definitely offer more
Disagree.
in the backs. Well, no shit, you're going to disagree, but I believe
Yeah.
that they are more talented out wide than the All Blacks would. I think they would push them around.
See, when I was trying to think of this team, I was like, who is the most creative player in the NRL? I was like, who can play 10? So 10 was a weird spot for me because I was like, who's dynamic enough and who's the most creative enough in the league to play 10? And I couldn't think of anyone.
No.
Like, I think
think
Kalen Pong is probably the most
plenty.
creative. But in comparison to you look at in terms of union, you look at union players, I genuinely think that as a whole,
Teddy
they
Black.
are more.
I think
Teddy
that's-
Black is a
I think that's unfair.
bloody
I think
excellent
there's
example.
plenty of creative halves in rugby league.
just
I mean,
can't see it, mate.
Mitchell Pearce, Cameron Munster,
What
Daly
do they
Cherry
do that is
Evans.
creative? What is something they would do that is creative?
They set up tries on
How,
a
though?
weekly basis.
How though? That's
by
what I'm
passing-
wondering.
Kicking
passing-
games, passing, not so much structured play anymore. A lot of it's more ad lib now because of these rule changes.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, it's more free flowing football from a lot of these halves, and you're seeing what the good halves can do when you've got a bit more ad lib footy. And in a game like this, I think they would benefit over the union halves. And
I think the union halves are a
backs.
lot more creative, and there's set plays, structured plays.
Mate,
I
all
think
they do
there's
is
a lot.
kicking.
No, they don't.
No, that's all they do.
They do not. The
It's-
fullbacks, maybe. Fullbacks,
That's all they
and
all do.
Fullbacks kick a lot. I'll say that.
Watch the 2016 Super Rugby final, Gusman. Watch Bowden Barrett and tell me he's uncreative. That's all I'm saying.
I think they're more creative. Maybe on the wings, you have an argument there, maybe. But I think in terms of your playmakers, which are not your wingers, sorry, your wingers are not your playmakers, I don't think they're as creative.
Anyway,
in Union, you've got your inside centre. Most of the inside centres in Union are pretty much forwards. They're
No.
No.
yeah.
Who started
Yeah,
at inside centre
you hit
for the
ball-
Queensland Reds this season? Jordan Patea did.
Oh, did he?
So
Okay.
he didn't
he's-
start at 12.
No, he did, didn't he? Or
I
13?
don't think he started at 12.
Where did he start then?
Injured, mate.
Yeah, not at the start of the season.
Yeah, I think he
oh no,
started-
he did. He got
I mean, a
injured.
lot of the
Okay,
time
so he was
in
playing
Union-
12 for the Wallabies at the World Cup.
A lot of the time in
13.
Union,
No, he wasn't.
Yeah.
I swear he was playing 12. Who was playing 12 for the Wallabies?
Simon Karevi.
Was he?
And,
thought he was playing outside.
Yes. No, he was playing. No, Simon Karevi played 12. Yep. And Patea at 13. Jock came off the bench.
That is actually right. Anyway,
Thanks.
I don't think Patea is not a forward. Either way.
Look, okay. A lot of the time you have big bodies in inside centre for rugby
yes.
union, and for rugby league, a lot of these backs are skilled. Latrell Mitchell, he has an outstanding passing game. He has had to go from centre to fullback at South Sydney, and I mean you've seen what he's done over the last 3 weeks. He's been outstanding. I mean against pretty poor opposition.
He's been average.
No, he's been brilliant.
I think, but
he was
like maybe over the
good
past
last
3
week.
weeks, but like generally this
Oh,
season, I've said
you
he's
can't
not been.
expect him to
Again-
start off playing 10 out of 10.
Why not? Like, all the best players
he's in a new
are.
side.
Mate,
Oh,
look,
he's in a
I
brand
don't
new
think it's an
side.
excuse,
again,
mate.
look up Ma'a Nonu's highlights and tell me he's uncreative. Tell me he's a forward. Because I think you're absolutely kidding yourself if you think that's the case. Dan Carter started his career, made his All Blacks debut as a 12. He's not a
Oh,
forward.
really?
Okay,
I didn't know that.
And he's probably one of the most creative players
You know,
of all time.
You know, you got all these players who have played 12, all these really good players, all these playmakers. It's a playmaker role, as is 13. Well, anyway, we can have this discussion all day, boys, but I don't think it's really going to go anywhere. I think it's just a back and forth that's not really going to amount to much. So anyway, I think it's just putting it to the faithful.
Yes.
I think we'll do some polls over the next couple of days and that type of thing, and you sort of have this debate. Also,
Yeah.
put our teams up and hear your thoughts about who you think would win and why. But anyway, CJ, some more sport I want to chat about.
Yes.
If you don't mind.
Let's do it.
Tomorrow morning, Friday morning, it's coming home.
Is it, though?
Hope so.
Is it?
Is it?
Do you reckon it's coming home?
Oh, well, I guess it has to. If
has
if
to.
they can't.
But does it count?
No, it doesn't.
I don't think it counts.
Wasn't there a
personally.
meteor coming for Earth
Yeah.
this year?
Even if it didn't,
Can it
doesn't
please
count.
just
Please just
arrive?
hurry up.
So
just end us all.
to clarify, Faithful, what we're talking about is, of course, my boys, Liverpool FC.
Another bandwagon.
Yeah.
Well, my dad lived in Liverpool. I've
You
been
didn't?
supporting
Great.
You were born in Canberra.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah, but they're losers. There's a
good
difference.
on
That is the
oh yeah, actually
definition.
true. Liverpool are losers as well. That's why we call them Loserpool.
They're
No
winning.
one calls them
They're
that.
winning the league tomorrow.
I call them that all the time.
Okay.
By this time next
Liverpool.
week, when we record this podcast, Liverpool would have won the league at the very least. So again, you can call them losers all you want, Gassman, but basically the situation is this: CJ, on Friday morning, if City drop points away at Stamford Bridge against Chelsea,
Your team, mate.
Liverpool win the league.
Honestly, Chelsea just lose. No, I can't say that.
I'm kind
Just
of.
throw the game.
I actually want City to win because the situation then becomes if City don't drop points, then they get the 3 points. City play Liverpool next Thursday at the Etihad,
True.
That'd be sick.
which I think is a lot more of which is a better way for a team, CJ, I think, to win a league.
Or to
30
lose
year-
the league.
Oh, you'd want to win the game. You'd be
Exactly.
wanting to win the game to win the league rather than sitting at home and we won.
To be fair, I think it was
although Leicester were pretty happy when that happened to them.
It was a bit different with Leicester. I think that was an exception because there was so much, it was such a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Chelsea,
And
Chelsea
you know,
won
they've
it for
never
them
won
as
one.
well.
Oh, wait.
Sorry?
You guys haven't won a Premier League title either.
David Luiz.
Okay.
You know, well,
Here come the tears.
Chelsea won it for Leicester as well, so maybe they'll do the same thing for Liverpool.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. We'll see. Any other sport in the week that was, gents, that you want to chat about?
I don't know.
Oh,
Matt Rowell is an absolute gun.
He is.
Matt
He is.
Rowell is on fire.
Mate,
Your defense is terrified.
Left peg, 50 metres, easy as you like.
Ah,
Brownlow.
Jesus. I just shared to our no, he's not going to win the Brownlow. I just shared to our Facebook page earlier today hour-long video of that goal. Of just that
Great-
goal
great
playing on
content.
routine.
Man,
That
who,
is excellent
who was the
content.
time for that? Also, something that is pretty exciting too on Friday morning. Of course, by the time this podcast is out, it would have come and gone. But hopefully, the joint bid for the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup between Australia and New Zealand, apparently that should go ahead. I think Colombia are their only rivals
Yeah,
at
they
this stage, CJ.
Yes.
Colombia.
Colombia, that is correct. So if Colombia wins, you know there's something fishy still happening at FIFA and UEFA.
I think man, this is well overdue. Australia and New Zealand, to be fair, is such a sporting destination that the fact it hasn't hosted a FIFA World Cup of any capacity
yeah.
is a bit silly.
Well, we should have had last year's,
No,
2 years
next
ago,
year's.
and we should have had Qatar.
Location for the cup final if it comes to Australia?
Where?
Metricon. Yeah, let's go. Let's get it at Metricon.
Is that what
That
they're
is a
saying?
terrible shout.
No.
Oh,
that's
God,
just
okay.
my. That's just my. That's what I
And
want to
you
happen.
see
Metricon.
the Matildas coming in from the Broad Beach end
Yeah.
against against the America coming in from the
You're
Narang
gonna say
River end.
Narang Timber?
Yeah.
It'll be great because I think
Keep
what
the prices down, mate.
Yeah, they do.
we've seen, unfortunately,
Not a sponsor.
Shame
it's
they were
just
so
an example.
dreadful in the last World Cup. Was it the last
weren't
World
that
Cup? Did they? I don't think they. Oh, they got eliminated straight after the
Quarterfinals.
group stages. I think they were tipped to get close, and win it. or
Yeah,
something.
they are one of the best teams in the world with
Yeah.
regards to female.
Are we talking about Australia still or New Zealand? Come on, you white ferns. I think that's
Only
what they're called.
in the men's only undefeated team in a World Cup. So
That's very true. 2010, back to the glory days. No, it'd be great to see. Hopefully it happens
sound
because I
of
think.
vuvuzelas in the background.
Oh, wouldn't you?
Winston Reed and
Winnie.
centre back and
Winnie Reed.
Shane Smeltz up front.
Oh,
yeah.
Now playing for the prestigious Gold Coast United.
has he
Well, no.
started for them?
Nah.
Now you got
yet.
Burnley's Chris Wood up front.
We've always had him, mate.
Yeah.
Have you? How long? How long has he been playing?
Maybe not in 2010, but he has.
Hey,
He has.
he
been-
was.
He was playing. Good.
God.
Yeah,
play.
back when he was
Must
at
be
Leeds.
30 odd.
Yeah, he is. He's like
Yeah,
29, 30.
He's quite old, I guess. But no, again, hopefully that goes ahead because I think that's what Australia needs. That's what Australia, the sporting public, they're crying out for because
Deserve.
it's what we deserve, CJ.
Well, we
Yeah.
just had the Women's Cricket World Cup as well, so we'd have back-to-back blockbuster sports on
Exactly.
in Australia, something to go and watch.
Australia's very much leading the forefront of, I guess, being progressive when it comes to women's sport.
100%.
And that's what I meant when it comes to, how they embraced the Matildas. And Sam Kerr, she really is the face of Australian sport now, CJ,
doubt.
which is absolutely incredible to see.
They've got an incredible squad, though.
Exact-
You've got Caitlin Four,
Mate, it's
Holkinghorn. They've got such a good team.
because I think, mate, a few years ago, no one really, the W League didn't get the publicity that I think it deserved.
No.
Um,
And arguably, it still doesn't.
It's probably
Still
about
doesn't.
as popular as the A-League is right now, honestly.
Well, they don't have any games on, so
No, again, hopefully this is the next step. That's what I'm trying to say. The next step in women's sport being embraced by Australia, because I think with the death of rugby union, unfortunately,
Whoa.
boy, Finn's
hello.
hit puberty mid-episode. There we
gee,
go.
It's about time, honestly.
Yeah.
About time.
Balls dropped, mate.
jeez. Now this is on Spotify forever. Great. No, but basically, I think this is just really important. The next step, the death of rugby union. Australia will want another sport, and when the All Blacks wipe the floor with the Kangaroos, they'll need some new role models to support. So that hopefully that can be the Matildas.
Yeah.
Maybe
well,
we
I don't
can
think.
wipe out rugby union worldwide by destroying the All Blacks.
Oh, boy.
Or-
I don't think NRL. I don't think we're looking at NRL for role models, though. Let's be honest.
No, again,
I think
or
even rugby league players would say that.
something that I guess
I don't think bashing nightclub bouncers is really
Yeah,
the
there's
way
the
to
odd
go.
bad apple, but there's the odd bad apple in every sport, I think.
But I think also, could we see a hybrid of rugby going forward? The Wallabies being in such a dire situation at the moment, Gus. What if the Kangaroos go, you know what, let's just merge. Let's merge. Let's see if we can do that, because it'll be such an impossible thing to happen
Yeah.
to get this.
What, merge the sports together
yeah.
or merge? Oh.
Because I think it'll be a lot easier for league to merge into union rather than the other way, because that's not going to happen. There's less teams,
Yeah.
less people playing.
Yeah.
And of course, there's such
I
a...
don't see it happening.
No,
No.
not at all. Not at all. It's very much a fairy tale, just as the hybrid game is. Hopefully not. Fairy tales,
Hopefully.
can they come true?
Yeah. I'd love to see it personally.
Well, they were talking about it. Peter V'landys and old
Mal
mate
Meninga.
from... Was it Mal Meninga? I thought that someone from the All Blacks was
Well, yeah, that's
Having
got
a
confirmed
chat.
as well, but
Yeah.
Mal Meninga came along for the meeting.
good old Mal.
Good
you
old
know?
Mal.
I mean, there's nothing much to do at Titans HQ.
No.
They're chasing for feeder as well, which was...
Yeah, I saw that.
Exactly.
They offered him like $5 million or something
$1
like
million
that.
a season, yeah, for 5
Probably
years.
still won't even get him.
No.
$5
Yeah.
million a year. That's
No, because
Oh, boy.
I think the equation is $700K a year if he stays at the Broncos. So you'd take that over the Titans.
Would you though? Because the Broncos are pretty poor right now.
Yeah, they might be just been a slump, though. I've heard Seabold's lost the team. He's lost the
Yes.
dressing room,
Yes, he has.
which I would not be surprised with,
Hmm.
just by their recent results. Pretty
Does he get the
shocking.
sack at the end of the year? Yeah.
No.
I think he does.
I think
I don't think he does, just because he's got a massive contract, 5 years,
Exactly.
6 years that have to pay him out.
I think
point.
the Broncos, they're too proud.
Yeah.
They won't want to do it.
They didn't fail.
No,
They can never fail.
no.
They're just having a series of unfortunate events.
Guess what? Darius
Great,
Boyd's
great.
been selected again.
Did he actually?
God.
Boy, give up.
He literally, he can't not get picked.
Mm.
Like,
Yeah.
what does he do? He's got
Yeah.
Seabold's nudes or something, honestly, because it's like, it is honestly like he can't step a foot wrong in the eyes of the cage.
Well, I mean, he's getting
paid
one of the most
800K, they
senior
don't want him on
players.
the bench.
Yeah, and he's one of the more senior
Yeah.
players there.
Yeah.
So
Anyway, enough talking about the Broncos.
yeah, exactly. But I think that's curtains for today, boys.
Curtains
what do we
back.
reckon?
Yeah.
Okay, good. If you haven't checked us out on socials already, go check us out on Instagram. We're @_beyond the sidelines_ and on Facebook we're @beyond the sidelines. That's pretty much where we are everywhere. Go listen to our previous episodes if you haven't already. What did we talk about last week, boys?
I actually can't remember.
No, okay, wait, it's coming to me. Draft.
Yes, we did.
Oh,
We
yeah.
did. We had a little discussion similar to how we did today about whether we can see a
Draft.
draft in Aussie sports. It got pretty interesting, and I think
Yeah.
Finn and I kind of convinced you
yeah,
otherwise.
a little
mate.
bit. Yeah. I mean, it's not going to happen, but I think it's not a bad idea, and
Yeah.
not bad as an idea.
Let's not
Yeah,
go
let's
back.
just
Go
say
listen
that.
to it yourselves. We spoke about
Exactly.
it there.
Exactly. But that's it for today, boys. Any last thoughts? Any last things you want to say?
No, I think I've said enough for today. I'm
I
ready to
definitely
go.
think you have, mate. Anyone want to go
Go
get a
grab-
kebab?
I'm
Oh,
gonna go-
actually, I really do. Yeah, okay.
Get a kebab, boys.